Okay, so everyone's buzzing about AI these days, right? Especially AI in banking. But today we're going deeper. We're talking about Apple and how they're kind of jumping into the game with this whole on-device AI thing.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening, if you're curious about what this means for, your banking experience, like think about it. Personalization, privacy, super fast transactions, all that good stuff. We're diving into an article written by Alex. He's a financial UX expert over at UXDA.
Okay.
And the article is titled, Apple's On-Device AI Takes on Cloud AI. Who will revolutionize personalized banking UX?
It's a pretty interesting title.
It is.
Oh, we're going to figure out, could your iPhone actually become your own personal financial advisor? Is that even possible?
Well, it's a very interesting time to be looking at all of this stuff because you have to think about it. Banks are really trying to make digital banking secure, efficient, and also personalized.
Yeah.
But how do you do all of that?
Right.
And at the same time, keep our data safe and respect our privacy.
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? Yeah. That's the million-dollar question.
It's I want my banking app to be like Fort Knox, but I also want it to be like my best friend who gives me good advice.
Right.
Is that even possible?
And that's where on-device AI comes in.
Okay.
So to understand kind of how this is different, you got to look at what's already out there, like cloud AI.
Okay.
Everyone knows ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Very powerful, but all the processing that ChatGPT does happens in a massive data center somewhere out there.
Right.
And that brings up some privacy concerns, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
Because your data has to leave your device and travel to that data center.
So it's like sending my, bank statements on a little vacation.
Yeah.
And hoping that they don't get lost on the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even if it doesn't get lost, just think about the speed.
Yeah, true.
All that back and forth between your device and the cloud, it takes time, especially if you have a bad internet connection.
Right.
But on-device AI changes that. It's like having a little tiny supercomputer.
Right in your pocket.
Right there in your pocket, yeah. Capable of processing data locally.
Wow.
Never even sending it to the cloud.
So it's like having a little bodyguard in my phone.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Protecting my data 24/7.
I like that.
And Apple is really leading the way here. At WWDC this year, they announced this big push towards on-device AI. They're calling it Apple Intelligence.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's coming to iPhones with iOS 18.
So it's not just for banking apps?
No. Apple Intelligence is being integrated into everything.
What?
Writing tools, notification management, Siri, they're really building AI into the core iPhone experience.
Wow.
With a big emphasis on privacy.
Yeah, Apple's always been, privacy focused, so that makes sense.
Yeah, they've always prioritized the user experience, so this kind of fits right in with that,
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm starting to see why this is such a big deal, but I have to play devil's advocate for a sec. Doesn't cloud AI still have some advantages? Wouldn't banks prefer to have everything managed in one place?
Mm-hmm.
They can analyze data from all their users and then offer way more advanced features, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're right. Cloud AI is great for centralized control and for analyzing massive amounts of data. It's incredibly powerful for banks.
Yeah.
But we can't forget the trade-offs.
Okay, what do you mean?
We're talking about, potentially sensitive financial data being sent and then stored on, who knows whose servers.
Right.
But with on-device AI, all your data stays on your phone.
Okay.
The processing happens right there in real time.
So no waiting.
No waiting. And you don't have to worry about your data being vulnerable, while it's traveling around.
That makes sense. Okay, but if everything's happening on my phone, is that going to kill my battery?
That's a great question. And, it is a challenge that developers are working on.
Yeah.
The key is to design AI algorithms that are super efficient so they can do all this stuff without draining your battery.
That's good.
And remember that, the chips in these newer iPhones are really powerful.
Yeah, they are.
So they can handle all this advanced processing, no problem.
Okay, so you're saying my old iPhone 6 is not going to cut it?
Well, older devices might not be able to use every single feature.
Okay.
But you'll still see some benefits.
Yeah.
And as technology gets better, these features are going to be available on more and more devices.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so on-device AI could be faster, more private, maybe even more efficient eventually. But what does that actually look like? How would it change my banking experience?
So imagine you're at the store and you're about to buy something you really want, maybe a new pair of headphones.
Okay.
And your banking app, powered by on-device AI, it sees what you're doing and it analyzes your balance, your upcoming bills, even your savings goals.
Wow.
And then it gives you a little nudge.
A nudge?
Yeah, like a notification saying, hey, this is within your budget, but remember, you're also saving up for that trip to Italy. Are you sure you want to buy these headphones right now?
That's like having a little angel on my shoulder.
Exactly.
Talking me out of bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
I need that.
But what about security?
Okay. Yeah, how would that work?
Well, let's say you're using your banking app on public Wi-Fi, which can be a little risky.
Yeah, definitely.
On device, AI can analyze your usage patterns, your location, even how fast you're typing.
Really?
To spot any, suspicious activity.
Wow.
And if it senses something's not right, it could instantly block a transaction or, send you an alert to verify your identity.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's like having a bodyguard for your money constantly scanning for threats.
Okay, I'm definitely starting to get this.
Yeah.
But what about, the times when I need more than just basic advice? What if I need to talk to a human or I need help with, complicated financial planning? Does on-device AI take care of all that?
That's where things get even more interesting, and that's what we're going to be talking about next. Okay, so we've talked about how on-device AI can, really change the way we bank every day. But can it handle, the big stuff? The things that are kind of complicated?
Yeah.
What about investing or retirement or making big financial decisions? That's what I always get stuck on.
Me too. That's when I just give up and call my financial advisor.
Yeah.
Could on-device AI actually, replace a real person? That's
a great question, and it's not a simple yes or no answer. On-device AI could definitely handle some of that. Imagine if you had personalized investment recommendations, right on your phone.
Okay, yeah.
Based on, how much risk, your financial goals, and even, how much you're spending right now.
Okay.
It could look at the markets and tell you what to buy, and even, automate your investments so you don't have to do anything.
Okay, that sounds amazing, but, would I trust an AI to actually do that?
Right.
Investing is scary. I always feel like I need a person to talk to.
Yeah.
To make sure I'm not messing everything up.
I totally get that. It's a big deal to trust an AI with your money. But think of it this way. On-device AI could actually help human advisors do their jobs better.
Okay, how?
It could do all the boring stuff,
Yeah.
Crunching numbers and analyzing markets.
Right.
And that would free up the human advisors to do what AI can't do.
What's that?
Be supportive and understanding and, really help you understand how all this stuff makes you feel.
So it's more like they work together.
Yeah, a partnership. AI does the technical part and the human does the personal part.
Okay, that actually makes me feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
But what about people who can't afford a financial advisor at all? Could this help them?
Oh, absolutely. One of the best things about on-device AI is that it could help everyone learn more about money. Imagine a personal finance class right on your phone.
Yeah.
With tutorials and practice stuff, and it even tells you if you're spending too much.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah. It could make investing and managing money way less scary.
That's awesome. But, nothing's perfect.
Right.
Are there any downsides to on-device AI? Stuff we should be worried about?
Yeah, definitely. One of the biggest challenges is making sure that these AI systems are built the right way, with privacy in mind.
Right.
We got to be careful about the data they're using to train these AIs, because if it's biased data, then the AI is going to give bad advice.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out, right?
Exactly. So we got to make sure these systems are fair.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, developers have to be open about the data they're using, and they have to make sure the algorithms are good and not biased.
Okay.
And users like us need to understand how these systems work and what data is being used.
So they have to be smart but also accountable.
Right.
I'm also thinking about security. Is all my financial stuff safe on my phone? What about hackers?
That's a good question. Security is super important. And developers are working on that. They're using really strong encryption and stuff like fingerprint scanning to keep data safe.
Okay, good.
But, hackers are always trying to find new ways in.
True.
So we all have to be really careful about protecting our phones and our information.
So it's kind of on us, too.
Yeah, it's a shared responsibility. Developers build secure systems, but users got to be smart, too. Choose good passwords. Be careful about scams. Keep your software up to date.
So just like AI and advisors have to work together.
Right.
Users and developers have to work together, too.
It's a team effort.
Okay. So we've talked about the good and the bad of on-device AI for banking. But this goes way beyond money, right? What about all the other ways it's going to change our lives?
Right. That's the really exciting part, and that's what we're going to be talking about next.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about on-device AI and banking, but it sounds like this is way bigger than just, my checking account.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is going to touch, every part of our digital lives. Yeah, it's not just about money, it's about managing information and our time and just our whole experience with technology.
So it's like a total game changer.
I think so, yeah. And we're shifting away from, just using our devices to access the cloud. Now they're becoming intelligent partners. Like they can figure out what we need and help us, deal with all the complicated stuff.
I'm having trouble picturing this. Like, what would that even look like?
Okay, so imagine you're getting ready for work in the morning.
Okay.
Your phone uses on-device AI to look at your calendar, the traffic, and the weather. And it tells you to leave 15 minutes early so you don't get stuck.
Okay.
Then it puts together a news update just for you with stories you'll actually care about.
Cool.
And it even starts playing your favorite podcast for your commute.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right.
Like it knows me better than I know myself.
Right, and that's the big change here. Right now, a lot of our digital lives are controlled by, these huge tech companies.
Yeah.
They collect all our data in the cloud. But on device, AI puts us back in control. We have more power over our data, our privacy, our whole experience.
That sounds great. But doesn't that also make us like even more dependent on our phones?
I mean, it's a possibility. We could become too reliant on them, especially as they get smarter and more personalized.
Right.
But on the other hand, maybe on-device AI could actually help us use our phones better.
Oh, how?
Like if it does all the little stuff for us, filters out the noise and figures out what we need, then we're free to, actually think about the things that matter.
Okay, that makes sense. But there's got to be some downsides, right? Like nothing's perfect.
Well, one challenge is making sure this technology is available to everyone. On-device AI needs a lot of processing power. So if you have an older phone, you might not be able to use all the features.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So people who can't afford the latest phones are going to be left out.
Yeah, we have to be careful about that. It's not just about the cost of the phone, though. It's about digital literacy, being able to use technology and having good internet access. We have to make sure everyone can benefit from this, not just people with a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. And what about people using this for bad stuff?
Right. That's another thing to watch out for. We've already seen how AI can be used to, spread lies and manipulate people and even discriminate against certain groups.
Yeah, that's scary.
So we have to be really careful and try to prevent those things from happening. We have to make sure on-device AI is used for good.
So that's a lot of responsibility for the people making this technology.
It is. Developers, policymakers, all of us really. We all have to work together to make sure this is done the right way, ethically and responsibly, so that it helps everyone.
Okay, so what are the biggest things we should remember from all of this? Like, what's the takeaway?
Well, the biggest thing is that we're just at the beginning. On-device AI is brand new, but it could change everything about how we use technology. It's about giving users control, making our devices more personal and efficient, and creating an experience that's, more human.
I like that. But we can't just wait around for this to happen, right? We have to be involved.
Exactly. We have to demand transparency from developers and support ethical development and talk about these issues, the benefits and the risks of on-device AI.
Because this is going to affect all of us.
Right. It's our responsibility to make sure it's used for good and that it helps create a better future for everyone.
I think that's a great place to wrap up. Thanks to Alex for that amazing article. And thanks to everyone listening for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We covered a lot, but this is really just the start of the conversation. So keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep pushing for a future where technology makes our lives better.